Now watch this. His hip's going to start to move back and forth. Anytime that happens, for me it's always been the sacrum, where it connects into the spinal column. There's always something about moving this back and forth that's somehow rocking the base of the spine and the sacrum to get them to actually be more fluid with each other. And this is very common to see this. Because he has three things going on. He's got his adductors making his legs move back and forth. He's got this thing going on inside his pelvis, but he also has something that's rocking his pelvis back and forth. Lots of energy here. Okay, so I can see what his body does in this position. And there's a lot of energy. So we're going to change the position a little bit to see if we can move the energy in a different direction. Okay? And just as I say that, it follows. So basically what's just happened is all of this movement down here, the sacrum and the spinal cord loosening themselves up, the hips rocking back and forth, and now you see the flow of the energy trying to come up the body. It's following the spine. That's exactly what it should do. It's nature. So we have a pulsating, and it's even pulsating stronger, organism. And I haven't done a thing. Okay? But he's coming alive, and even if he doesn't tell me a story, this is a lot for him to access the story later on. Okay? All right, where do you feel this? What's going on here?
It's the entire spine and a little bit in the shoulders as well, like they're moving up.
Uh-huh. Bring your arms down to your side. And the only reason I did that is I want to see, no, leave them at your side. I want to see if that makes a change in his shoulders. Because he said something's happening in his shoulders. And so I'm going to put his arms in different positions just to observe. Okay, what do you notice first thing? Look how big the twist is. It's going further up the spine. Okay? Something loosened. Now it can move further along the spinal column. What it's literally doing is taking the vertebrae and twisting them like this. It's actually unwinding or unlocking the vertebrae that was stuck. Look how it's going way up now, right to the shoulder blade. See that?
Yeah.
Okay? All I had to do was unlock the rib cage because all of the ribs in the back are connected to the spinal column. So if they're locked, the energy can't go up the spinal column because it's stuck. So I unlocked it just with pushing on his chest. And now his whole body is trying to come back to life. It's trying to unlock the spinal column. All right, this is what I'm waiting for. It works through the hip. My job is to be patient and wait. That's it, because the body knew how long it had to do that before it could return to this movement. I don't do anything. I watch all the time. Now I've got another organism talking to me, saying, I've worked out something here. I'm ready to do something else. Okay? Now I'm all set again. We see the same movement back and forth, a little bit stronger now. See, I'm looking at the diaphragm. And so there's some movement. Look how deep it is in the back. It was down here in the lower back before. We saw his belly coming up. Now we're seeing this part come up, the rib cage. That's exciting. That's what I want to see happen. Oh, look, there go his shoulders. How exciting is that? Now I have to wait again. Look at this shoulder move. Okay? Very interesting. Your left shoulder is different from your right shoulder. Is that true?
The right shoulder is stiffer.
Right. Okay, that's what I see. See, now that this is happening, I really don't need to do much more because once the organism is coming alive by itself, I really like to stand back and let it do what it needs to do. It has more wisdom inside there that knows what it needs to do to come alive than I would have by watching it. There you go. Now that energy that was all down here is concentrating up here. And now he's doing the samba.
The samba.
Look at that, and all by himself. There we go. There we go. Now the spinal column is, look at that. Once the pelvic girdle shifts, once a shift takes place in the pelvic girdle, the shoulder girdle has to follow because they're connected by the spinal column. You cannot shift this one without this one making a shift as well. And there we see it happening. Now what the body's trying to do is pull the two pieces together. They were two separate pieces, and now it's trying to figure out how to put them together as one piece. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah? How's your jaw?
Once moved it.
See? It's now going into his jaw. He's feeling tense in his jaw. Now it has always been tense, but because this is now loose and more flexible, he notices how tense this is. And now he says, but it wants to go to the jaw. And remember the picture that I showed you, the jaw was, the masseter muscles are also involved in the fight or flight response. Okay? And so now we have him trying to loosen his jaw.
I've had a whiplash as well.
Okay, now I get a story. I had a whiplash. Okay?
Schleuderkomma.
Are you doing this, or is it happening to you?
It's happening, and
Okay.
I'm letting it happen.
Okay. You see how all of the energy is gone from here, and it's all concentrated on the neck. That was our next stage of the body. And now he tells me he had whiplash, and his neck is naturally moving back and forth. He's just allowing it to happen. So the question becomes, where did all that energy go? See? All that aliveness. If we wait, the body's going to reveal where it went. And here it is. And it's going to move his neck as strongly back and forth as it moved his pelvis back and forth. Remember that? And it can move the neck because he loosened the shoulder. So we're really working just the anatomical parts of the body. That's all I'm doing. Because I know at the end of this session, this guy is going to feel better in his body. And if he feels better in his body, he's going to feel better in his psyche. He's going to feel more alive. Life will be happier. And I haven't even talked to him about his problems yet. If I keep repeating the process, and he gets happier and happier in his body, he's going to start telling me stories about his life. Okay? And they're not going to be so difficult to tell. Okay, now look. With the spinal movement, the hip movement going clear up the neck now. Now we have the whole spinal column involved in the movement. That's all we want. When the spinal column is free, the energy or the tremors can move up and down very easily. Now look, a few minutes ago this was a stiff soldier who was stuck. And now he's this flexible amoeba just sort of rolling around on the floor. And now the amoeba is getting tired. It's like, it worked really hard. This was a lot of work for it. And you can see it's like, I'm exhausted, because this was very deep stuff that he worked on. Okay. When you're ready, just let your feet slide flat down on the floor and relax. before I make comments, if it's okay to make comments about the
Absolutely.
session, okay? Could you tell the group what it felt like? What was that like?
In the beginning, it felt more like a robot moving compared to the last. I was kind of surprised when the entire body started moving like this, and it felt smooth. And my voice feels a bit smoother right now as well. So, but in the beginning, it was really like different parts of the robot starting. Robot, like machine moving, with different parts not being integrated and not connected in that sense, like it feels now. And then, and it felt very light, and I was happy. And then the chest, I know there's things in the chest, and it felt good to get that more relaxed. And after that, this story came. And I'm still feeling a bit sad about it, like right now, but it's okay, it feels good. And so the energy really moved from the chest up here, and right now it's in my eyes, and it feels good to have it there in the eyes.